Welcome to Learn It, a series of digital scrapbooking tutorials by Studio Wendy at Scrapbook Graphics. Today we're going to be looking at the Action Scrap It album number 1. We will be using products from Studio Mix number 4, I Do Love to Be Beside the Seaside, so special thanks to them for letting me use this kit. In your download you'll find the actions and a tutorial on both installing the actions and using these particular set of actions. This PDF tutorial for using the actions is going to lead you through every single one of them. It's going to give you a supply list along with a short description and a short sample page of what you are going to end up with when you're all said and done. So let's get started. Here we are in Photoshop Elements, and you'll see here that I have installed the actions. I've clicked on the Photo Effects button, and then from the drop-down menu over here on the right, I have selected the Scrap It Album 1 set of actions. And when I do that, all of the icons for the entire set will show up here in the effects palette. We're going to go through each one of these. You'll see the to add to embellishment action, add for embellishment action, a back cover and a front cover. You'll see pages 1 through 20, and you'll see 3 alternate designs along with a resize action, a crop action, and a save action. We're going to briefly look at most of these here today. We're going to start by opening a brand new file. In Elements, you have to always have a file open before you can run an action. In CS, you don't have to worry about that. We are going to scrap through one entire page from front to back, and then we're going to just touch briefly on each of the individual actions. So we're going to start with the cover. I'm going to select it and press Apply. We'll get a message here at the beginning of each action that tells us exactly what order and items that we need to have prepared. These actions work best when you have put all the files that you need into one central location so that you can get to them quickly and easily. I like to do that page by page, but you can dump them all into one folder. You can also go search around your hard drive for them if you prefer to do that, but this is just a little bit quicker. So in this case, this is the cover page. It tells us that we need a background paper. We'll enlarge it to fit the canvas. The action will move it to the left. Then we'll select a photo, a ribbon, or an element, and then we will save it. So press Continue. The action creates a brand new canvas for our layout and then prompts us to select our background paper. So I have copied all the files I want to use into the Scraps folder. I'm going to select my background paper and press Place. Now these actions have been designed to create photo book ready pages that will work with most photo book printers. So they have a little bit more extra canvas here than you would on a typical 12 by 12 page. So when the paper is placed on the canvas, go ahead and click on it and resize it to fill out the entire canvas. And press Enter to apply. The action is then going to move this paper over to the left in this particular layout, and you can adjust that if you want to. If you're happy with it, just press Enter to apply or click the green check mark. Next we'll be prompted for our photo. Choose a photo and click Place, and you'll have the opportunity to size it and position it for the cropping that you want. So place the photo where you want it and press Enter to apply. Finally, on this one, we will be prompted to add an element, and I'm going to select a banner. I can rotate it by clicking outside of the box, and I can resize it by clicking on one of the corners and holding Shift to constrain the proportions if necessary for my version of Photoshop or Elements. When I have it where I want it, I can press Enter to apply. The action adds a small drop shadow and prompts us to save it. I'm going to call this Cover. It saves in TIFF format, in a layered TIFF format, which typically results in a smaller file size. But if you prefer to use the PSD format, you can simply change that as it saves. And press OK. These actions have been set up to allow for minimal element placement, and that's just so that they can appeal and be used by any type of style scrapper. However, I have included for you an add to and add for embellishment action. So if you like a lot more embellishments on your page, it's super simple to add them. Just click the add for embellishment, click apply, and it will go through and allow you to add more of those embellishments right onto the page. So here we'll place a little palm tree, some sand, a flower, and a boy. And there we go. We've added 4 more elements. If you want to go on, add 2 more or 4 more until you're ready to finish up. You can add a quick title or journaling. You can even use the add to or add for to add letters of your alpha if you wish. It's pretty flexible however you want to use it. When you're all done, be sure you save your file again. And then you can skip down here to the bottom. And we can use the resize 12, crop 12, and save JPEG actions. These are for scrappers who don't want the extra canvas that is allowed here for the photo book printers. So you can choose to resize the entire layout down to 12 inches. That simply takes exactly what you see and makes the 12.25 canvas a 12-inch canvas. Or you can use the crop action, which will cut off a little bit more of that background so you don't have that extra space around it. So in this case, I'm going to show you what the crop action looks like. We're going to click it and press apply. And you'll see here how it just chopped off a little bit of the outer edge here around the edge, as opposed to just resizing the entire page. When you're happy with your page, click the Save JPEG action and click apply. It's going to flatten it, add a little bit of sharpen and color pop, save a high-res version, and then allow you to save a web size version in whatever size that you choose. So press continue. Here, when the high pass filter comes up, this is what is going to add your sharpening. You'll see that the higher you drag this setting on the screen, you'll see more sharpening. The lower you drag it, the less sharpening you'll get. The optimal point is generally when you can see some white edges here in your preview, but not too much white. So usually this falls around 1.5, but depending on your taste, you might want a little bit more or a little bit less. So let's put this down to around 2.3. In this case, we're going to click OK. It applies the sharpening. The next dialog is for the color pop. Just click OK. And then you'll be prompted to save your JPEG. You can name the file as you want it. I like to save mine with a quality setting of 10 or higher to be sure I don't get any pixelization, and press OK. Next, I'm prompted for an image size, and this is where I can determine what size I want my small JPEG to be. For gallery posting, usually 600 is the default, but a lot of blogs use 575 or even smaller. So you can choose that size right here and press OK. Again, you're prompted for a little bit more sharpening because anytime you reduce a file significantly, it loses some sharpness. On this set, we probably need a lot less sharpness than we did the first time around. Place that where you want it and click OK. And then you'll be prompted to save your small copy. Be sure to change the name and click Enter to save. When you're done, you can go ahead and close out of that file. Close out of your original layered file, and you're ready to move on to your next page. So that's the basic of the actions. That's how all of these pages are going to run. But we're going to take a quick look at each one so that you can see the supplies that are needed and get an idea of how the end page is going to look. And you can also follow right along with your PDF tutorial to get that same information. So let's look at the back cover. Press apply. It tells us we need a background paper, a matte paper, a frame paper, a photo, and an element. Press continue. And then you'll see we're finished with that first page. Let's close out of that and move on to page number 1. Page number 1 is requiring a background paper, which we will enlarge to fit. The action will move it over just like it did with the cover. Then we'll select our photo and a ribbon or element. That is page 1. Let's close out of that and move on to page 2. Now for many of the even side pages, they are designed to use either a full bleed photo or a full sheet of paper. And the reason I did this is because it makes a really dramatic effect, especially when you're having a photo book printed, to have that full bleed image right across from your scrapbook page. So instead of putting the full bleed action in here only one time, I went ahead and duplicated it so that each of the even pages will produce that effect, but you don't have to remember where you left off. You can just keep going down the line with page 4, page 5, page 6, and when you get to those pages, the action will create that for you. So we're going to run page 2, click apply, and we're told we need to find a photo or a paper to fill the entire background. So in this case, we will use a photo. And I'm just going to size it up to fill the whole page. I can drag it around, position it where I want to, and press enter. It will prompt to save, and we're done. Page 3 asks us for a background paper, a border paper, a photo, and some corner elements. So press continue. Page 5 asks for a background paper, a photo, and 2 ribbon elements. Press continue. Page 6 is a full bleed page. Page 7 is a little bit different. It is going to let you use an actual frame, element frame from your stash. So click apply. It lets us know we need a background paper, a frame element, then a photo. Once you position the frame, and you can rotate it and move it around, put it anywhere on the page you want, you'll be given a white box up on the screen, and you will need to resize this box to fit completely behind that frame. Your photo will be cropped to wherever this box lies. If you need to resize it out of proportion, that's fine. Just click one of these other handles, or don't hold the shift key as you click and drag it around. Some frames are a little bit tricky to get this box into. Just do your best. When you're happy with the placement of that, press enter, and you'll be prompted to select your photo to place on top of that white area that we just masked off. So select the photo, and on the next screen, when you resize that photo, it will be clipped to that white area. Then you'll be prompted for your elements. and to save it. Page 8 is a full bleed page. Page 9 asks for a background paper, 2 stacked photos, and 1 element. Page 10 is a full bleed page. Page 11 asks for a background paper. The action will move it to the right. We'll place a photo and then a ribbon or element. Page 12 is a full bleed page. Page 13 asks for a background paper, 2 photos, and 2 elements. Page 14 is a full bleed photo. Page 15 asks us for a paper strip, a photo, and 2 elements. Page 16 is actually a variation. This one is not a full bleed page. It uses a background, a matte paper, a photo, and corner elements. If once you've placed some elements and you're not happy with them, or you've placed them out of order, you can always resize them on the layered file afterwards, which is what I'm going to do here by just moving this little tag behind the flower I placed. Page 17 asks for a background paper, a border paper, and then 5 photos. And we're going to build these with the 2 left square photos, top and bottom, then a center tall photo, and then 2 right square photos, top and then bottom. We're going to resize and position each one as we go. Page 18 is a full bleed photo. Page 19 asks us for a background paper, a border paper, and then 3 vertical photos. Page 20 asks us for a background paper, a photo, and 2 elements, and this particular one is also going to add a caption. When this action ends, you will be left with a caption that you can edit. You can even edit the font and size and color. It's completely editable there for you. And when you're done, be sure to save that one again. So those are the 20 main actions for the photos. In addition, there are 3 alternate actions. They're just additional variations on some of these same page layouts. The alternate 1 action is going to put a vertical frame with a paper behind it. So let's get our paper. We choose our matte, then we choose our photo, and we'll be prompted for some elements. The alternate to action is very similar, but it's going to be a horizontal mat and photo. And finally, the alternate 3 action allows you to place and resize your own paper mat and size your photo in any particular shape that you want. Place the background paper first. Then you're prompted for a mat. You can leave this mat with just a simple plain border. You can rotate it. You can throw it off the side of the page. You can do whatever you want with this one. This is very flexible for your own creativity. Then you'll be placing the photo box, and again you can place a vertical, square, horizontal, whatever you want. You can just resize this image to be where you want it to be. Press enter to commit it, and then you'll be prompted for the photo. You can place that photo right on there and it will clip to the box. Finally, prompted for your elements and to save it. So that's it. Those are the 20 Scrap It Album 1 actions along with the 3 alternates, the Resize and Crop album, the Save album, the front and back cover, and the Add Embellishment actions. I hope this tutorial has been helpful in seeing how these actions work and how they can save you a lot of time in putting together a quick and complete album. And as always, I encourage you to tell your story with your pages, add your own journaling and dates and thoughts to really complete these albums and make them your own. Thanks for watching this episode of Learn It.